$2.2 billion. That's the number that just changed everything for women's basketball. The WNBA locked in the most valuable media rights deal in women's sports history, and the money is about to start flowing. But here's the part nobody's talking about. This deal might tear the league apart before it even begins. The math tells you everything. The new 11-year package brings in $200 million every single year. The current deal, $60 million annually. That's not growth. That's a revolution. Disney, Amazon Prime Video, and NBC Universal just made the WNBA legitimate in ways money alone can't buy. And they're not done. Additional deals with CBS and ION could push the total past $260 million per year. In the old combined NBA and WNBA deal, the W got 1% of the money. Under this new structure, they're commanding nearly 3%. The league went from being a charity case to a real business. The deal runs from 2026 through 2036, giving them a decade of stability they've never experienced. Disney keeps the finals, All-Star Game, and draft. Amazon streams to 200 million global subscribers. NBC brings women's basketball back to broadcast TV after years in the wilderness. For fans, everything changes. No more hunting through random channels wondering where tonight's game is hiding. The new deal guarantees over 125 nationally televised games every season. Disney carries 25 minimum. NBC shows 50. Amazon takes 30. Wednesday night doubleheaders on USA Network become must-watch television. Games broadcast worldwide mean Europe, Asia, and South America can finally follow without jumping through hoops. The finals rotate between all three networks. Disney gets 8 finals over 11 years. Amazon and NBC each get 3. First-round playoff series split among partners. This isn't just visibility, it's legitimacy. The league that spent decades begging for airtime now owns prime real estate on the biggest platforms in media. But the timing reveals something most people missed. The WNBA closed this deal at the exact moment the NBA secured its $76 billion monster package with the same 3 companies. And in that process, someone got left in the cold. TNT. Warner Bros. Discovery tried to match Amazon's offer after broadcasting NBA games for nearly 40 years. The league rejected them. TNT is out. After 4 decades, they're done. This signals where sports media is headed. Cable is dying. Streaming platforms are eating everything. Amazon already owns Thursday Night Football and Champions League soccer. NBC uses sports to anchor Peacock subscriptions. Disney is preparing for ESPN to go fully direct to consumer. The WNBA isn't just riding this wave. They positioned themselves right at the center of the future. And that positioning matters because of what's happening with player salaries. The current max is $249,000. The minimum sits at $66,000. Those numbers are about to explode, but the fight over how might destroy everything. The league's latest offer includes a $1 million maximum base salary, potentially hitting $1.2 million with revenue sharing. Minimums jump to $225,000. Average salaries exceed $500,000. The team's salary cap rises from $1.5 million to $5 million. These are massive increases. Players at the minimum would triple their money overnight. Stars finally crack 7 figures. But the players aren't celebrating. They're preparing for battle. The union called the league's proposal putting lipstick on a pig. The problem isn't the dollar amounts, it's the system. Right now, the salary cap increases 3% annually, no matter how much money the league makes. Players want what NBA players have, salaries tied directly to basketball-related income. When revenue grows, paychecks grow with it. Here's why they're right to fight. Deloitte projects women's basketball revenue jumping from $710 million in 2024 to over $1 billion in 2025. The business is growing 46% in 1 year, but player salaries only increase 3%. As the league gets richer, the players' slice of the pie actually shrinks. WNBA players currently get about 9% of total revenue. NBA players receive 49 to 51% of basketball-related income. That's not a gap, that's a chasm. The current agreement includes revenue sharing that triggers when certain targets are hit, but COVID killed those benchmarks. They've never been reached. Kelsey Plum laid it out plainly. Revenue share and salary are priorities 1, 2, and 3. Everything else is negotiable. But the league's proposals keep moving away from what players want. The original deadline was October 31st, extended to November 30th, extended again to January 9th, 2026. Either side can terminate with 48 hours notice. A lockout could happen tomorrow. The WNBA has never had a work stoppage in nearly 30 years. If it happens now, right as the league hits peak momentum, the damage would be catastrophic. Then there's the controversy nobody predicted. Housing. The league wants to eliminate the requirement that teams provide player housing. Since 1999, teams have given players housing from training camp through playoffs. Now, with salaries supposedly rising, the league wants players to pay their own rent. Players see exactly what this is. The league pockets television money while cutting benefits that existed for 25 years. Teams save money on higher payrolls by dumping housing costs. From the players' view, they're generating record revenue, and the league responds by taking away what they've always had. It became a major sticking point, threatening the entire negotiation. This fight plays out against unprecedented expansion. The league is growing from 12 teams to 18 by 2030. Golden State Valkyries started in 2025. Toronto Tempo and Portland Fire joined 2026. Cleveland comes in 2028, Detroit 2029, Philadelphia 2030. 6 teams in 5 years after going 16 years without adding one. The money involved is staggering. Valkyries paid $50 million for their franchise in 2023. Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia each paid $250 million this year. That's 5 times higher in just 2 years. Expansion fees alone could bring the league close to $1 billion. Franchise values have gone insane. Average teams now worth $96 million. Las Vegas Aces sold for $2 million in 2021. Today, they're valued at $140 million, 70 times return in 4 years. No team has changed hands since 2021 because everyone knows values are skyrocketing. But not all that TV money goes to team owners. The WNBA's ownership is complex. Until 2022, the league split 50-50 between NBA owners and WNBA owners. Then they raised $75 million from investors like Nike, Michael Dell, and Condoleezza Rice. When $200 million annually starts flowing, it divides among NBA stakeholders, WNBA team owners, and outside investors before players see anything. The revenue-sharing model lacks transparency about what counts toward the salary cap pool. It doesn't specify what percentage of income players receive. The league controls numbers that determine player earnings. The union sees another system where arbitrary figures get chosen and players accept whatever they're given. Sophie Cunningham asked the question that matters. What happens when the business keeps growing? Do salaries grow too or stay flat? Under the league's proposal, there's no guarantee players benefit from future success. With a media deal bringing generational money, billion-dollar revenue projections, and franchise values exploding, players know this is their moment. The league argues women's basketball doesn't profit like the NBA. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert points out expenses consume more revenue in the WNBA. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver says comparing revenue percentages between leagues doesn't work because the NBA's numbers are so much bigger. But players aren't buying it. They see sold-out arenas, record ratings, merchandise up 600%, and a $2 billion TV deal. They're asking why they should accept 9% when they're filling seats. January 9th is real. If talks break down, the expansion draft can't happen. Free agency can't open. The 2026 draft can't be conducted. Everything stops. A work stoppage bleeding into the season risks squandering 2 years of momentum. Caitlin Clark brought millions of new fans. Angel Reese became a phenomenon. Aja Wilson made history. The league finally broke through. A lockout now would be devastating. But players have leverage they never had before. The league needs them more than ever. Disney, Amazon, and NBC paid $2.2 billion for rights to broadcast these specific athletes. Clark, Reese, Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart. If they're not playing, the deal loses value. Franchise values jumped 180% in 1 year. Expansion fees went from $50 million to $250 million. Media rights increased 6 times. Sponsors are flooding in. Every metric points up. The WNBA secured generational wealth. The question is whether players get their share. This TV deal changes everything, but not how people think. It's not about easier access or league revenue. It's about power. Who controls the money? Who benefits from growth? Whether the athletes driving success get treated as partners or employees. The next few weeks determine if the WNBA capitalizes or implodes when everything finally aligned. The media deal is done. The money is coming. But if the league and players can't split it fairly, none of the rest matters. January 9th isn't just another deadline. It's the day the WNBA finds out if it can handle success or if success destroys it.